everyone. I'm Melissa McAllister, and you're listening to The Melissa Made Show. Now, for decades, I've dedicated myself to helping women break the cycle of dieting, navigate through all the fads, and change their lives through my nutrition coaching. Now, each week, I'm going to talk about everything from deep nutrition, mindset, self-care, the ideal workout routine, tips on how and why to implement intermittent fasting in your life, my favorite recipes that are not only crowd pleasers, but they're actually healthy for you, and so much more. Now, with small and consistent changes, you can defy aging while living a happier, healthier, and more heart-filled life. I'm so excited to show you it's possible with the right strategies that are so simple to adopt. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Melissa Made Show. And if you ever watch the YouTube videos, which hardly any of you do, I am in a different location. I'm actually in my house instead of my husband's shop. And so even the audio might sound a little different because I'm in my office. Now, for those of you who followed me for a long time, we bought this house, almost 10 years ago. And because it was out in the boonies 10 years ago, the internet was horrific. You guys, it was so bad that I would have to, if I uploaded or did like 3 or 4 stories, those 15-second stories in a row, I would actually have to get in my car and drive out of the neighborhood for them to upload. And that got a little old. So we put this house up for sale, long story short, but we put the house up for sale and we moved into one of our rentals and stayed there for 3 years. Ended up getting this house back because it was just the best decision for everybody. And technology happened and the internet now is really good. So I'm hoping this is actually a test where I'm about to go on a rant for you that may or may not show up in the Melissa Made Show. A test to see if I'm able to do some podcast here because, it is a little bit of a pain in the butt to package everything up and to head to my husband's shop where half the time either my son or my husband are in there working. And I have to ask them, please don't turn on the compressor. Please be quiet. Please don't yell profanities really loud, because that's just not good for business. So this is really a test, but I do have something I want to get off my chest. And a lot of my podcasts have a lot of research behind them, or I'm very clear, just to say I'm sharing with you experiences that I've had. Well, this one is just flat out a rant, and I have no agenda except to just share with you that the other day I did a reel. And what I had seen was a quote on Facebook from an old friend, and it said, taking medication and thinking you're healthy is like taking out a loan and thinking that you're rich. And so I kind of changed it because I like things to rhyme. And I had said in my reel that if you taking medication and thinking that you're healthy is like taking out a loan and thinking that you're wealthy. And a bunch of comments came through and personal messages of people saying, you couldn't be more right. My parents or I was put on this medication, not told that it didn't have to be something that I would have to be on for the rest of my life. Did my own research, went to a functional medicine doctor, worked with a nutritionist or a dietitian that brought to my attention that lifestyle changes can help it so that you can reduce the prescription or even eliminate it in the future. Now, I even said this in my reel, there are some medications that are great for you or they're needed for the rest of your life, and that's okay. But the fact that a lot of people don't have the knowledge or aren't told that the medication that they're being put on can be reduced or can be stopped eventually with some good dietary lifestyle changes. And so that's all that reel meant. Then there was that person said, this is terrible advice. And I just took a deep breath and I didn't answer immediately. And then I did. And I, was just honest. I'm like, number one, can you tell me, your education in this and why is it so terrible? Look at all the comments of all the people who did have the opportunity because of a positive lifestyle dietary change were able to reduce or get off medication. The amount of messages that I got of people, saying, yes, this is so true, versus the one person that says, this is terrible advice. It's always that one person though, that just kind of sits in, and you just kind of, let it blister and fester. And I just thought to myself, this is ridiculous. When have we gotten to the point that you can't say anything that makes people think for themselves? Okay. There is no way that anybody could interpret that what I said was me saying, get off your medication right now. You don't need it. That wasn't the message. It clearly wasn't the message. It was just opening people's mind to the idea. And I said, and I hashtagged, talk to your healthcare professional that you could. There's a possibility that a medication that you're on, and I use Nexium as an example because that is a really good example. People are put on, heartburn medication and acid reflux medication, prescription, and it has a lot of side effects. And they're put on it not knowing that there's some dietary and lifestyle changes that you could make that could reduce how much that you need or even eliminate it completely. They have no clue. So that brought me to wanting to do this podcast because I don't think people understand what my role is and what, when I went to a Nutritional Therapy Association for that 10-month schooling, fantastic, you guys, such a fantastic, it's 10 months of in-depth schooling where we are working with some really, I'm still good friends with Thomas, one of my professors, such a smart man. There's clinical work, there's classroom, it's mind-blowing how much you learn in that 10 months. It is very, very intense training for 10 months. In my humble opinion, it's the same as, a 4-year degree, because in the 4-year degree, you're getting your chemistry in, which when I went to ASU, that was a very hard subject for me. Chemistry was tough. Math, sociology, psychology, history, you're doing all of these other courses as well. But this is 10 months of absolutely nothing but learning about the foundations of the body and how to look at symptoms and what they could possibly mean for deficiencies or inadequacies in the body. My job as an NTP was created to be the median between a client or a patient and a doctor, because doctors, for many reasons, it could be that they've lost their love of their field and just don't care anymore. That's a possibility. Big possibilities. They're really way too busy to take the time with each patient to be able to sit down and talk about the dietary and lifestyle changes that can be made to help get them off the prescription medication that the doctor puts them in. Or even 3, they may not even know. We've all heard that doctors don't have a whole lot of nutritional training. And so my career was created to be the liaison between that patient and the doctor. And so I am fully licensed and educated to talk to people about the symptoms that they have and to come to a conclusion together as to why they're having these symptoms and what these symptoms mean and what their body is trying to tell them. And then, without fail, my job is to say, to look at the prescription medications and say, I know you're on this prescription medication. Here's something I would love for you to talk to your doctor about. That's my career, and I do it all day long. Have you tried countless diets, but you're still seeking your nutrition sweet spot? Are you trying to get results on your health journey to feel your best without being too restrictive? Now, I know how you feel. I've done the diet thing, but there never was that one that totally worked for me. And this is exactly why I developed the MAID diet. Now, I found that rather than restrictions, it's best to have a set of guidelines that allow you to customize based on your preferences and bio-individuality while staying on track with your health and fitness goals. I found the nutrition sweet spot. And as a health and nutrition expert, I get asked all the time what, when, and how I eat. And as someone who's passionate about education and helping others, I want to share that with you. Now, the MAID Diet ebook lays it all out for you, taking the guesswork out of dieting. The MAID Diet is a lifestyle plan that incorporates moderate protein, adequate fat, decreased carbs, and an introduction to intermittent fasting. The ebook gets right down to business by answering your most frequently asked questions. It includes thoughtfully designed recipes and a 7-day sample meal plan to start you off right. It will honestly kickstart your weight loss journey and have you losing inches in your very first week. Now, intermittent fasting combined with these nutritional guidelines is honestly the piece that so many people have been missing when trying to get results. This ebook has all the information you need in a format that is condensed and to the point so that you can get to your results. If you're ready to get started, the Made Diet ebook is available immediately on my website for just $9.99. So head over to melissamadeonline.com/made diet to take action towards feeling your best today. And once you do, oh my gosh, please let me know it's working for you. I am so honored to be a part of your health journey. Okay, back to the show. It's fascinating how the body will give you little tiny, pss, pss, hey, I'm not feeling very well, little tiny symptoms. And then it gets a little bit louder. And then eventually, and hopefully, knock on wood, it never happens to you or a loved one, it's a scream. You know, the symptom is an absolute scream saying, I am not doing well, fix me. And when you have quite a few symptoms that I understand what that symptom is, for why is your body telling you that? And there's a few symptoms that have to do with the adrenals, or have to do with your blood sugar handling, or have to do with, your upper GI. I can come to the conclusion that this area in your body needs support. It's obviously not functioning optimally because you're getting all of these symptoms and the correlation is just huge. And so we know why. And so we talk about lifestyle and dietary changes. I'm able to recommend supplements and nutraceuticals. I'm supposed to look at the prescription medications and to talk to you about that and to give you the knowledge to understand, is this prescription medication something that they need to be on? And then to have the knowledge to go to their healthcare provider, the one that prescribed that, and say, hey, I've been on Nexium now for 3 years and I learned this, that. And if I can make these changes in my life, in my body, can we work towards me reducing this prescription or even eliminating it? And hopefully you have a doctor that's open to that and hears you and is educated enough to go, well, oh my gosh, absolutely. I'll see you in 6, let's start implementing these things and I'll see you in 6 months. So that those kind of questions, or not questions, but comments, when someone qualified puts out there, hey, think about this. Just think about the possibility of the prescription medications that you're on, which some could be life-saving for you. Some you will need to be on for the rest of your life, and that's okay. Technology is fascinating that way, but there are some that have a huge laundry list of side effects that you're put on to help you in the moment, which is fan-freaking-tastic. But long-term, it doesn't solve the actual problem. And instead, it's just helping with the symptoms. And like I said at the very beginning of this, those symptoms, the symptoms that your body is telling you for a reason, because something is not functioning well. And we need to support that area so it doesn't get worse. But if we just take a medication that suppresses a symptom, then we don't hear it anymore, but the problem's not getting any better. So I love what I do. And those stupid, silly little comments just get to me because it's making people just be robots, in my opinion. It's like, I've been put on this medication and I wasn't told that it's not something that I have to be on for the rest of my life. So I'm going to pay for it, both, monetarily. I'm going to pay for it with my health in other areas and not know any better. But the older I get and the wiser I get, the more loud I'm becoming. There's so many loud mouths out there who just really need to stay in their own lane and need to just worry about putting out their own information and enjoying the talents that they have and embracing it and helping other people in their own way. But they're always out there. I actually have another reel that I want to put out. It'll be put out by the time this airs. I did a search and even Gandhi and Mother Teresa had haters. So you're not making an impact in this world if you don't have people that are bothered by you. So bring them on. I've really learned to embrace it, and actually, in a crazy little way, I think I enjoy it. So that's someone getting close. I mean, the 25-year-old Melissa versus the near 50-year-old Melissa, completely different person. I know who I am. I know my truth. What movie is that from? I know my truth. one of the best movies ever. And I stand proud and tall and know that I am very qualified and very excited to be able to help tons of people out there. So rant over. If you're listening to this, then this means you're going to hear me do more podcasts in my home, which makes me very happy. It means I need to clean it up a little bit. But I love doing it here because I'm very comfortable in my home, in my Texas home, shall I say. And I eventually will have to do podcasts in my Mexican home as well. I think I'm going to have to do it in a closet, but whatever, I'm okay with that. But anyway, I am going to sign off. And as always, and I love every time I have a guest and I say my closing quote, as soon as I push stop recording, they're like, oh my gosh, I really like that. So I know it's a good one. I want you to wake up feeling prepared, and I want you to go to bed feeling proud. You guys have a great day. I appreciate you so much. Wow, we've reached the end. But before I leave you, I'd love to hear from you. After all, it's not every day that someone reaches out and asks for your opinion. And to me, your opinion does matter. So please share this episode with anyone that you think needs to hear this message. And remember to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. My name is Melissa McAllister. And until next time, thank you for being your own health advocate.